Leopard, leopard, leopard of the Visconti. Leopard, leopard, leopard of the Viscon, leopard of the Viscon, Visconti. It's a man's life in the Luchino Visconti's The Leopard. Anyway. Hello there, Nate Jackson, Criterion Collection Reviewer Guy here, number 235. Lucino, not Luciano. There's no A in there. It's Luchino Visconti's The Leopard, starring Mr. Burt Lancaster, an American actor in Italian film. Oh, what will they think of next? What did they think of next? Well, obviously, you know. 1963, 185 minutes. Oh God, even longer than the Tendrum, and in Italian, and just I mean, I'm not gonna say much about this one because I honestly didn't understand it. It's just too dramatic and too, just, I mean, at least with the Tin Drum, it was long, but we had a story. We had a story that was easier to understand. I mean, yes, there was, you know, historical aspects of it that, you know, required you to know a bit about the war and all that. But here it's like, it's basically, you have to know, like, I mean, you just have to know. I mean, there are things that they were talking about that I was Googling everything, and I still don't get it, you know? So I'm not going to talk about this one. I'm just going to tell you how I picked it up. Basically, it is it's about this guy, this prince of what was it? The prince of oh God, what is his name? Prince of Sicily or something like that. Selena, that's it, Selena, yeah. So the prince is played by Burt Lancaster, and there's like war breaks out in his town or something like that, and so he ends up moving his family to Newtown, and so in there, and then there's war. There's war again there, and then he moves again, and while he's got his son, or no, his nephew, Tancredi. And Tancredi's like the spitting image of his uncle. And so he's going to be the new prince, basically. And so he ends up falling in love with this woman, Conchita, or something like that. And then he ends up leaving her for a woman named, oh God, I forget her name. What is her name? Angelica. And so they get together, and basically, the whole movie is basically about just the Princess Selena coming to terms with the fact that he isn't going to be a prince anymore. He's, you know, like, people want him to stay on. People want him to, you know, because he's still got some years into him. But for the most part, the prince is just like, you know, I realize that I've got to step down, you know. And so there's a lot of that where he feels old too. He does feel old, you know, hanging out with his nephew and all these younger people. You know, he feels very much an elder in his right. And so it's basically just about that. And at the end, he finally just kind of comes to terms with it. And he's thankful for Angelica, who asks him to dance at this ball. And for a few minutes, he feels like a kid again. And so he can, I guess, gracefully kind of step down. And, you know, just kind of let's Tancredi take over. And yeah, that's basically the 3-hour movie summed up into a really shitty review of it. But, you know, like I said, I didn't get this one. I didn't get into this one very much. It was just long. It was hard to understand. It was just boring. Honestly, it was just very boring. People were comparing this to Gone with the Wind, and I'm like, oh God, I want to see Gone with the Wind. I've never seen it yet. So if people are thinking that, you know, if I think this is boring, how am I gonna feel about Gone with the Wind? I mean, of course, some of it is, I think, the fact that, you know, it's the Italian thing. It's hard to read subtitles for 3 hours long, you know. So yeah, I ain't got much else to say. As far as Visconti is concerned, his direction's cool. I mean, he definitely made an Italian epic. Looking at the list here, let's see what. But yeah, no. What do we give? What do we give this a rating? Give it a C. Yeah, it's a movie. it's better than the Tin Drum in that there's nothing that just made me say, what the fuck is this, you know? But at the same time, it was like, at the same time, it also made me keep checking the times, like, wait, how much longer we got, you know? So yeah, so how many more Visconti movies we have? We have The Leopard, that was 235, we did that one. And then, yeah, Le Notti Bianche, which is number 296, which will be closer to the spring or summer. And then Senso, which is number 556. So we got 2 more coming. So, yeah, so I have nothing to say about Visconti. I mean, I think he did a good job with the direction and all that. And, you know, he wanted to make an epic movie. He made an epic movie. So there you are. I just didn't get it. I just didn't get into it as much as, you know, other films. So I can't give it like a D. I'm not going to give it a D, but at the same time, you know, I think this might have not have, isn't the greatest film I've ever seen. So, C. Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, no, so that's all I can say about the film. Now the supplements, there's this disc 2. This is the DVD version. Disc 1 is just the Italian movie. Disc 2 is the all the supplements. It has has a hour-long documentary produced for this DVD called A Dying Breed: The Making of the Leopard, which has interviews with Claudia Cardinale, who played Angelica, and a bunch of the screenwriters and, you know, people who worked on the film. Sidney Pollack, who is a filmmaker who edited the American version, which we'll get to in a minute. And yeah, so it's pretty cool. Then there's an interview with the producer, Goffredo Lombardo, and he had some interesting stories to tell, such as, you know, how, you know, obviously Burt Lancaster being an American actor, a very celebrated American actor, you know, American audiences wanted to see this film. The American companies wanted this film. However, they wanted to make changes to it, such as they wanted Burt Lancaster to shave his mustache and they were in the role, and it was like, no. So thankfully, you know, I mean, Visconti was like, no, fuck that, you know. And yeah, so it was really interesting to hear the producer talk about, you know, those little anecdotes. And then there's a little interview with the scholar, this professor, Millicent Marcus, which is basically she talks about the history behind the actual story, because it's based on a novel, which is based on, I guess, on a true story of a real prince. And, you know, when I went into it, I said, oh God, another white woman, you know, white person, you know. But no, this is different. She's not opinionated about the movie or anything. She's just basically telling about the story, you know. She mentions the movie and all that, but it's really in response to the novel and the story, you know. It's a more scholarly approach to talking about the Leopard versus just the opinionated, such as what was it? The one we just saw? Was it Stray Dog? I think it was, or maybe it was the Tin Drum. I can't remember. But anyway, yeah, that other white guy who talked about it. So yeah, this was a little more scholarly, very less opinionated. You know, I don't think it was opinionated at all, honestly. But anyway, so yeah, what else we got? We got posters, stills, newsreels, Italian newsreels, a trailer. Burt Lancaster talking to the audience in front of the first American trailer. And then the weird Italian trailer, which I was watching it, and like the music doesn't sync up with the shots being shown. And so I was wondering if like maybe there was something wrong with the titles or the syncing of the soundtrack, as the last like 30 seconds are completely silent. The music ends and we just see like the war scene where, you know, where the soldiers are fighting. And so yeah, that was just really weird. That was very awkward, and I'm just like, okay, you know. But anyway, so there's that. And then finally, third disc is the American release. So I did my research on the Wix, and apparently the movie was originally over 200 minutes long. However, Visconti felt, you know, there's stuff that he had to cut some scenes because it ran a little too long for him. So he cut it down to 3 hours. And then when the Americans got a hold on it, they cut a further like 20 minutes out and released it as a 161 minute, you know, film. And so basically Burt Lancaster, I guess, didn't speak Italian, and if he did, maybe he spoke little Italian. So when he was shooting his thing, so all the actors in that film, apart from Burt Lancaster, are speaking Italian. Burt Lancaster spoke English and had an Italian voice, overdubbed. In this version, Burt Lancaster. Now, obviously, all the voices are overdubbed, but Burt Lancaster dubbed his own voice. Now, I think what happened is he did have to overdub his voice. I thought what was going to happen was they were going to use the original soundtrack, but that was probably lost, or it probably wasn't going to work it probably just wasn't going to work because of the Italian, the bleeding of the Italian, voices, when they blend together, So it was cool to see, you could see his mouth, basically say exactly what he said, in the film. So they gave him so what I'm assuming happened is they gave him an English script. He read the English script. They overdubbed the Italian voice, and he just reread the English script for the American version. So yeah, and like I said, I didn't watch it. I took a peek at it, and it was really cool to see Burt Lancaster speaking in his own voice. And Sidney Pollack kept calling it lousy because of the voice, because of the dubbing. And I can side with that. I can understand that. But at the same time, it made me really want to make a version of the film that jumps between the two audio tracks, between Burt Lancaster, that basically has, no subtitles for when Burt Lancaster speaks. All his lines are his voice from the American version, and all the Italian actors speak in Italian with subtitles. I want that. That would be the ultimate Leopard for me. And maybe I'd probably, get into that a hell of a lot more than I did this version. So yeah, that's all I can say. See, not a great film, but it's a classic. It's a very important film. It's an epic. If you're into epics, check it out. Yeah. All right, so that's it for this week. Yeah, so that's basically it. Like I said, next week we got all I have is the Lower Depths. The other ones, A Woman is a Woman by Jean-Luc Godard, Smiles of a Summer Night, Ingmar Bergman, and Mama Roma, directed by I forget who directed it. Wait, I'm gonna look that up. Who directed it? I swear it was like the name sounds familiar. Wait a minute, let me see here. Mama Roma. Wait a minute. Come on, computer. This computer always seems to run slow. Oh, by the way, I may be picking up Ikiru and Scenes from a Marriage today, so I'll keep you guys entertained. Last weekend for the sale. If you guys haven't picked up your DVDs or your Blu-rays, here's your chance. Let's see, Mama Roma. Oh, here we go. So who directed it? Pier Paolo Pasolini. Wait a minute. Wait, where do I know that name? I know that name from somewhere. Wait. Pasolini. Okay, wait, what else did he direct? Oh, we've seen one? No. 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 Who let him do another movie? Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, no. More eyeball cutting. More fucking eyeballs cutting out. More shit eating. More... Oh, fuck. Damn it. Well, Monday's gonna suck. Fucking hell. Well, oh, Jesus. I mean, now I have a reason to hate Mondays. I'm off on Mondays, and I actually have a reason to hate Mondays. I'm gonna be like Garfield. Shit. Well, there you are. So, anyway, so I guess that's it. Shit. That's it for me. Thank you for watching. I ain't got no morals for this one. I'm sorry. I don't have any morals for the Leopard. Sorry. Anyway, we'll see you on Monday for